Hi Reddit, I'm an 18-year-old female posting because my dad's family, and even my mom, are saying I'm in the wrong. My parents divorced when I was 13 and they shared half custody, so I'd spend 1 week with my dad and the next with my mom. When I was 15, my dad married his wife. I just refer to her that way, and after that, I only stayed with them on weekends. Eventually they moved away, and I only saw them occasionally when they visited. My mom ended up getting full custody. Last month, my dad and his wife moved back to our city and got a 2-bedroom house. Before the move, my dad promised me that one of the rooms would be mine and said we could go back to a 50-50 custody arrangement if both my mom and I were okay with it, and we were. I was excited and even picked out furniture and decorations for the room. But when I visited the new house, they gave me a tour and then told me that the room was actually going to be for my stepmom's mom. They said since I'd be going off to college soon, I wouldn't need the room much anyway, and instead they offered for me to come on weekends and sleep on the couch. I said no, texted my mom to come pick me up, and I haven't spoken to my dad since. It's been a month. He's tried contacting me and even showed up to talk, but I was at school. He's also been messaging my mom, which he hates doing. At this point I decided I don't want a relationship with him anymore. I barely had one to begin with. Even my mom, who really doesn't like my dad, told me I should try talking to him since I barely saw him the past 2 years, but I've chosen to walk away from it all. It sounds impulsive, I know, but I sent him a long message detailing how emotionally neglected and unwanted he made me feel, and told him to never contact me again. I blocked him and his side of the family. In the morning, my mom woke me up at 5:00 a.m. and asked what I did. Almost my dad's entire family had been blowing up her phone, asking what she said or did that made me want to cut off my dad. During school, I even got a few messages from my cousins on Instagram that I forgot to block, insulting me. My mom showed me some of the messages and some were insulting both of us. My dad even sent a message apologizing to me and said I broke his heart. His wife is sending disgusting messages toward my mom. I feel awful because I didn't expect them to attack not only me but my mom harshly like that. I feel like I messed up and want to know if what I did was the right thing. Small update. My mom talked to my dad and set up a time to talk tomorrow after school. My mom's making me talk to him and reconcile, but I really don't want to. I'm trying to convince her not to force me to go, but she's threatening to take away my phone and laptop that I need for school and other things. I'll update you guys tomorrow. Update 1. Hi guys, right now I'm at a friend's house and going to stay the night. If you saw the small update I did on my last post, my mom was making me see my dad in person today to try and reconcile. She was threatening to take away things I need and use like my phone, so I had to go. After school, she picked me up and we drove to his house. I made sure to try and mentally prepare what I wanted to say or do. I really didn't want to talk to him, but since I was forced, I decided to take some advice from my last post and basically just talk about times I felt neglected and why I wanted to cut him off, including the harassment from his family. When I got there, I thought it was just going to be him, me, and Mom, but I was wrong. My mom came inside with me, but my dad told me to sit in the dining room and wait. They stayed talking at the door, and I went to the dining room. My dad's wife, who I'll just call Becca since it's close to her name, and her mom were sitting there. They told me to sit down while we wait for my dad. These women looked so angry at me, and I felt uncomfortable. I sat and was on my phone, and I could just feel and see them staring. I wanted to get up and leave, but my dad eventually came and sat down. He told me we need to talk, but I asked him where my mom was, and he said that she left. I asked why, and he ignored me. Then he started talking about how sorry he was for what I felt, but that Becca's mom wanted the room and she already broke her lease from her apartment and was thinking of quitting her job. Guys, this lady's 53 and acts like she's my age. She's gotten fired from all her jobs or quit because they were hard. For everyone thinking of a small, frail old lady, you're wrong. Picture someone who loves Vegas, drinking and partying. There you go. I was mad. They all took turns talking and basically said words that mean we're sorry if you're upset, but you're dramatic and you being dramatic affects us, so we'll give you a bunch of excuses and make you seem like the bad guy. I just wanted to leave, so I said something like, this isn't just because of the room, it's the promises that were broken and how you treat me. And I gave examples of things he's done that hurt me, including the harassment. When I mentioned it, Becca snorted and rolled her eyes at me and told me that I'm being dramatic with the word harassment, and it was toward my mom and not me. Me and Becca got into an argument, but it was more like me going, okay, sure, but you still did this, and her excusing it and raising her voice. I decided to end that and just tell them that I'm not going to reconcile with them. If I have to talk to them in the future, I will only if necessary. But for now, I don't want to build a relationship since we haven't had one in years. When I asked when my mom was coming back, they told me she wasn't until Monday. This is when I got really upset and went outside. I didn't want to be inside or around them anymore, and I called and texted my mom for an hour straight. I even walked to a small plaza nearby just so I could be away from them. My mom didn't answer, and it was getting late. I didn't want to involve my friends or anything, but it seemed like the only choice, so I asked one of my friends if she could come pick me up and if I could stay with her. She said yes, and now I'm at her house. She's doing homework right now, so I'm just in her living room watching TV, waiting for her to be done. Her mom told me I can stay the whole weekend if I'm okay with going to church on Sunday and can borrow my friend's clothes. I texted my mom and let her know I'm staying with a friend, and I still haven't heard back from her. I think she turned her phone off. Honestly, I want to cry out of anger. I'm so confused as to what happened. I'm mad, very mad, but also very numb. I don't know what this means. I left my mom voicemails crying, asking why she left and wasn't picking up, and venting to her, so I guess maybe I feel numb because of that. Who knows? I'll try to give you guys an update, but who knows what that will be. Update 2. Hi guys, I'm sorry for not updating sooner. My mom took away my phone and laptop. Things got really bad when I went back home. For a few hours after school it was fine until me and my mom got into an argument during dinner. I hadn't talked to her much until this, but I decided to talk to her about her actions, and she got really defensive. I just asked a few questions, and she seemed irritated and yelled at me because I was interrogating her. She took away my phone and laptop despite knowing I need both of those things for emergencies, and because almost all of my school assignments are on there. I begged her, but she didn't listen. And the next day my first period teacher had me go borrow a Chromebook, which I had to return by the end of the day, so I couldn't do my homework that was due the next day. Usually I have at least an hour's worth of homework due the next day, so the next day, my first period teacher pulled me aside after class and asked why I wasn't bringing my laptop or homework. I told her what happened and she sent an email to my mom. Later on I had to basically tell all my teachers what happened to get extensions on homework, and when I got home, my mom told me about the email and said that she would give me my laptop back only for school and an hour after school for homework in exchange for almond milk. She told me that she would stop buying almond milk, which I got upset at. For reference, I'm lactose intolerant, and like most people, I love things with dairy, but don't want what comes with them. It tastes good and makes a good substitute for milk, even if it tastes a little off. I was somewhat okay with it. It sounds like a stupid punishment, but it did make me upset. Anyway, that was how things were until Friday when my mom went through my laptop and found out I was going on Instagram and Spotify when I was using my laptop. I guess I wasn't supposed to do this, even though she didn't tell me. We had an argument after school, and we just argued all day. At night, after I went to shower, I caught her trying to take my door off. We had like a huge argument. At this point I was mad, like really mad. Her boyfriend was there too, and he was defending her, so I told him I was just going to leave and find somewhere else to stay. My mom told me that I couldn't leave, and if I wanted to leave, then I would have to go to my dad's, and I said no, and would just rather stay there, but I guess she changed her mind because after some time, I was in my room just trying to calm down. I was listening to music before my mom came into my room and told me to go to the living room, where my dad was. They both told me I had to pack a bag because I was going to stay with him for the weekend. I told him I didn't want to, and my mom told me I had to since they changed something with the custody agreement. They didn't tell me much about that, but basically they were forcing me. I did eventually pack and was just planning on leaving again since my mom gave me my phone and laptop back. Well, I got in the car with my dad. He said he would call the cops next time and tell them I would get in trouble. He also said I wasn't allowed to leave and that he would sell my belongings if I did, so I had to stay. It was like 11:00 p.m. at this point on Friday night, so when we got there, he told me the couch was a pull-out and gave me the sheets and stuff for it, then showered and fell asleep. Everyone else was asleep at this point, and I've never been in his house long enough to know where everything was. I also didn't know how to pull the couch out or where the remote was, so I slept with my laptop on the floor next to me. The next morning, they told me that they had like a small storage room that I can be in when I'm there, and can sleep on the couch. They showed me it, and it was like a tiny room, but it had a light, and it wasn't the worst since it also had an outlet, so I pretty much just spent the whole day here. They didn't even bother me, and my dad just texted me for dinner. Also, I had to unblock him and Becca. I even slept here, and I'm in here right now too. I only leave if I have to or get called out. I'm making an update finally because I know a lot of people want one. I know this isn't resolved, but my dad told me I'm going to have to come here every weekend now until I go to college. I don't want to, but I kind of have no say at this point since my mom also agrees, and I'd get in trouble if I don't. Tomorrow he says that my mom can pick me up after school, and I can stay with her, so I guess I'm just forced to go. I don't know, I guess I'm just stuck seeing my dad, which I don't want to be around at all, and my mom's just making me. Just 3 more months, guys.